Isabelle is a truly prehistoric woman, great for her instincts, while a man, torn off, cut off from his bestial nature, becomes only a two-legged dead man suffering from his own humanity, said the most charming French actor Gerard Depardieu about one of the most beautiful actresses in France. Isabelle Adjani was born in Paris on June 27, 1955. His father was an Arab from Algeria. His mother was a Bavarian German. My parents constantly quarreled, including on national grounds. Mom forced her faithful to change his name from Mohammed to Sheriff and told everyone she knew that he was a Turk. The father wanted to name his daughter Yasmin, but the mother was against it. They agreed on the French name Isabelle. Later, the actress said in one of her many interviews that she could not imagine herself either German or Arab, but considered herself a real Frenchwoman. The beginning of the future movie star's career was banal. Isabelle played in the school theater. Already at the age of 15, by her own admission, she was a very domineering person who did not tolerate objections. She directed plays herself. In early 1968, she was stumbled upon by the assistant director Bernard Michael, who was looking for performers in Parisian schools for the film The Little Coal Miner. 13-year-old Adjani spent her summer holidays on the set playing Rosa, who is in love with a brunette peer. Critics noticed the young talent and even compared Isabelle to the famous actress Brigitte Foss, who also starred in this film. 2 years later, the famous theater director Rouleau appeared on Adjani's horizon. With an experienced eye, he noticed a sensual girl with straight hair and lively, moist eyes, exactly the kind he was looking for Molière's School of Wives. And Rouleau was not mistaken. Although Isabelle was afraid to go on the stage of the famous Comédie Française theater, despite all her self-confidence, she played with amazing sincerity and penetration. The charm of youth was so obvious on this ancient stage that a very conservative audience forgave the actress even obvious flaws, for example, diction. The famous girl woke up after the premiere of the movie Slap in the Face. It was only then that she realized how much power cinema had. Thousands of peers recognized her as their friend, hundreds of thousands of parents as their daughter. And Adjani's worldwide recognition was brought by the main role of François Truffaut in his The Story of Adele G, for which she was nominated for an Oscar and recognized as the Best Actress of the Year by the authoritative New York Film Critics magazine. She was the only actress who made me cry, and there was a desire to shoot her in his film at all costs in order to steal feelings from the depths of her soul. Such was the discovery of Isabelle by the greatest French director, François Truffaut. Isabelle is on the crest of fame. She is invited by the most famous French directors. She is called to act outside France. She is engaged in 2 to 3 films a year. In 1981, she won the laurels of the most prestigious Cannes Film Festival for her performance of the main female roles in the films Possession and Quartet. The film Murderous Summer, based on the famous detective Sébastien Japrisot, was a huge success with the public. The most difficult for her was the role of Camille Claudel, madly in love with the sculptor Auguste Rodin and his art. Isabelle even studied sculpture with a professor from the Academy of Fine Arts. Adjani's partner was Gerard Depardieu, and his character, as you know, is not the easiest. The director of the film was the father of her 11-year-old son Barnabé, the famous Belgian cinematographer Bruno Newton, and the Lilith Company organized by her financed the shooting. In parallel, Adjani starred with the then-famous Luc Besson in the film Subway. However, all her thoughts were on Camille. I feel attracted to women who sacrifice their lives for something more, whether it's art, everyday worries, or love. The film begins as a kind fairy tale and ends tragically. Camilla goes crazy. Camille Claudel has been a huge success on screens all over the world and brought the actress the third César, the highest award of French cinematographers, and an award at the West Berlin Festival. Shortly after the premiere, there was a rumor that Isabelle had contracted AIDS. Thousands of phone calls from fans rang out in the offices of major newspapers and hospitals, but Adjani was healthy and even recorded a music CD, revealing another facet of her talent. And then she moved with her son from Paris to London and disappeared from sight for a long time. And she appeared in public unexpectedly a few years later, at the presentation of the perfume Dune by Dior. In a hall decorated with 10,000 roses and 700 orchids, the main flower of the evening was Adjani. The French consider Isabelle Adjani to be the perfect Scarlet O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. Isabelle herself once remarked that most of her heroines have an imbalance caused by violent passions. In fact, this crazy passion, even hysteria, bitchiness, is also in the character of Adjani herself. And her personal life is a story of unhappy love, lonely motherhood, and male betrayal. Adjani seems to be programmed for female suffering, and the sadness of all deceived women sparkles in her eyes. And although the actress does not like to advertise her feelings and personal attachments, the news of her scandalous breakup with actor Daniel Day-Lewis has spread all over the sidelines of the film world. Adjani could not accept Dan's departure and his wedding to Rebecca Miller, the daughter of the famous playwright Arthur Miller. After all, she spent 6 whole years of her life keeping her love for Daniel and playing the role of mother to his 18-year-old son. You love women, that's fine, but be kind enough to warn them that you are not capable of being faithful. By the way, Daniel disappeared from Adjani's life immediately after he found out about her pregnancy. Adjani hoped that this marriage means the end of further betrayals. Perhaps the person I loved was only in my imagination. Daniel, whom I know today, I cannot accept, but I will never forget that I loved him. Later, Isabelle began an affair with French multi-instrumentalist Jean-Michel Jarre. The couple had been dating for several years, and it was getting closer to the wedding. But the wedding did not take place because of the musician's infidelity, which the artist found out about. The breakup happened on her initiative.